welcome to my channel. I was looking for solutions to stop shaking during presentations and get A. Let me share this with you. It was a big challenge for me as a KNUST fresh student who had to make a presentation in front of my colleague students, full of the lecture room. I just realized that this was as a result of low self-confidence, self-doubt, timidity, and the illiteracy in public speaking. This made my staying on campus and academic journey so uncomfortable. I then took it upon myself to develop my speaking skills to build self-confidence. In this video, I will share with you the exact hack that I used to overcome this hurdle. Join me and let's dive into how we can develop our speaking skills as students and some of the key things we must know to avoid shaking during presentations and stage fright. You are once again welcome to our today virtual presentation titled Speaking Skills. In order not to waste much time, let's dive in. This is our presentation outline, and we are going to consider the overview and definition of speaking skills. We will also look at the characteristics of a good speaking skills. We will also consider types of business speaking situations. We will also look at the importance or purpose of speaking skills. We will also consider the do's and don'ts of speaking. We will also look at the barriers or hindrance of speaking skills. We will also consider the strategies to improve speaking skills. Then we conclude our visual presentation. Okay, so now let's move forward. Let's start with the overview and definition of speaking skills. When we say speaking skills, what comes into our mind? Now, speaking skills refers to the ability to communicate ideas, feelings, and information clearly through spoken words. So it is important in schools, workplace, and everyday life. Good speaking skills help us express ourselves, persuade others, and build confidence. So that is to say that in our daily life, we can't do without speaking. Communication is very, very important in every activity in our daily life. So our speaking skills is very, very important. We utilize this in school, at workplaces, and everyday life. Yes, so we can't talk about speaking skills without leaving the business aspect of it. Is very, very important. So in business communication, speaking skills refers to the ability to express ideas, information, and messages clearly, confidently, and professionally in a workplace or business setting. So now we are relating it back to business because as students, definitely we are going to work in various fields. So as the speaking skills is very, very important to be able to navigate our way through. So it is one of the most important communication skills because business activities often involve meetings. Yes, of course, you are going to attend meetings, presentations. As students, we do presentations in class. We are going to utilize speaking skills, negotiations, yes, interviews. If you have to attend to interviews, yes, we are going to make good use of speaking skills. Customer interactions, yes, customer services, and among others. You are going to interact with customers, your potential customers. Yes, so you are going to make good use of speaking skills, just to mention but a few. Now let's move ahead. Let's quickly look at some of the characteristics of a good speaking skills. Now, with the characteristics of a good speaking skills, in order for you to master your speaking skills, your speaking or your presentation should also have this attribute. So first of all, clarity. You should be able to express ideas in a clear and understandable manner. Don't confuse your audience. Make your message to be clear and concise. And then the second point is confidence. Yes, you should be able to be speaking assertively and with self-assurance. Believe in what you are saying. When you are presenting, believe in yourself, believe in what you are saying with assurance. The next point is good pronunciation. Say words correctly. During your presentation, make sure you pronounce words correctly. That's correct articulation of sounds and words. Make sure your words are correctly pronounced. Then fluency. Yes, speaking smoothly without necessarily pauses or hesitations. When you are presenting or when you are speaking, to the public. Don't speak too fast and don't speak too slow. You need to take your time, then you deliver. Yes, so don't speak too fast and don't speak too slow. While presenting or while speaking, don't be pausing. Don't be pausing. Yes, it's highly frowned upon. And also use good tone. Use the right voice and expressions. Yes, when you are saying something happy, you know the tone to use. When you are saying something sad, you know the tone to use. Depending on the context, wherever you are, it has its own context, how you express yourself in terms of words and language. So we should be mindful about that. Also, audience awareness, very, very important. As a speaker, you need to know who you are talking to. The people that you are addressing, are they students or are they market women? Are they your lecturers? Yes, so you need to be aware of the people you are talking to. Are they primary school children? Are they senior high school children? Are they university students? So if you're a university student, how you present to your colleague at the university should be different from how you present to SHS or the lower level students. It should be different, yes, because when you use certain words or vocabularies, they will not be able to comprehend or understand whatever you are saying, which will make your message to be lacking a sense of clarity. Yes, so these are some of the characteristics of a good speaking skills. Now let's look at some types of business speaking situations. So public speaking example, conferences, seminars. Yes, we all attend conferences and seminars. These are some examples. Group discussions, example, team meetings. Yes, so during our stay on campus, the lecturers, they give us group assignments. We meet and we discuss about how we are going to do our projects and our presentations and all that. They are all examples. Yes, so interpersonal communication, one-on-one discussion. Yes, it's also one of the examples. Formal presentation, attending board meetings and pitches. They are all example under speaking skills or speaking situations. And then virtual communication, that's through video calls, webinars that we do online. They are all examples of business speaking situations or types. Yes, so now let's move forward. Let's look at the importance of speaking situations. Yes, so the first thing is it builds credibility and trust. When you are able to communicate clearly and confidently in front of your audience, it builds a sense of credibility. You, the speaker, you enjoy the goodwill and trust, and you earn or you gain the trust from the audience. Yes, it also enhances clarity and reduce misunderstanding. When you communicate your message clearly, your audience are able to understand whatever that you are saying. It also helps to influence decision making and persuasion. Yes, either when you are speaking, you are trying to give an information or you are trying to persuade the audience or to influence their decision making. Yes, so when you communicate clearly or when you master your speaking skills, you'll be able to achieve this. So it strengthens teamwork and leadership. Yes, those of us who are into student leadership, yes, developing your speaking skills is very, very important because it will help you to build your credibility and trust before your colleague students. So that is to say that they will be able or they will be willing to support you, yes, to go in for your positions. It's very, very important because it strengthens teamwork and leadership. It enhances effective communication. When you master your speaking skills very well, whenever you are doing your presentation or you are doing public speaking, speaking to the public, you are able to enhance effective communication because the receiver is able to decode exactly what the sender intended the message to be, which will enhance effective communication. Yes, so now let's look at the do's of speaking. During public speaking, you need to maintain eye contact. Very, very important. Don't be looking at different directions. Maintain eye contact with your audience. Practice before presenting. Preparation is very, very important. You need to practice before the day of presentation. You need to practice a lot. Yes, you need to know your audience, as I said earlier on. Very, very important. That is the demographic and psychographic of your audience. You need to know the people that you are going to address. Use gestures and body language. Very, very important. Use simple language and speak clearly. Don't use jargons and other complex languages that people cannot understand or comprehend. Use stories or examples to make it more relatable. When you use such examples, the audience will be able to relate to the message that you are trying to pass for them. Yeah, so let's quickly look at the don'ts of speaking. So with the don'ts of speaking, the first thing is don't come unprepared. You cannot be going to do public speaking or to do your presentation without preparation. Don't come unprepared. Yes, be aware of that. Don't speak too fast or too slow. As I said earlier on, you need to relax. Make sure you communicate your message clearly for the people to understand. Don't avoid eye contact. Very, very important. In our Ghanaian context, during presentation, make sure you maintain eye contact with your audience. Don't read directly from the slides. That is why preparation is very, very important. The slides is only for PowerPoint as guidelines. So you don't need to be looking directly from your slides whilst communicating to your audience. It's highly frowned upon. Don't use offensive language, actually. So use nice tone and proper language whilst communicating to your audience. Don't use too many filler words like So these are some of the examples. Now let's go forward. Let's look at some of the barriers of speaking skills. We have physical barriers, noise, poor network connections, that's visual meetings, or faulty equipment can disrupt communication. Very, very important. Physical barriers, yes, that's a physical noise from our environment. Emotional barriers. Yes, so anger, stress, fear, or personal issues can affect tone and clarity of speech. Yes, depending on the mood of the speaker or an individual can also affect your presentation or your speaking. Yes, so lack of confidence. The lack of confidence is also a barrier. Employee may feel intimidated when speaking to superiors, clients, or during presentation. Yes, so that is the lack of the confidence that we are talking about. Use of jargon and complex terminologies, yes, can also result to some of these barriers. Overusing technical terms may confuse audience who are not familiar with them. When you use jargons and other complex terminologies, you are going to confuse your audience because they are not familiar with those terms. Yes, poor listening skills. Inactive listening leads to inappropriate responses and communication breakdown. Very, very important. So, as a speaker, you need to develop the habit of active listening skills. You listen actively. When they give you, after your presentation, they ask you questions. You make sure you provide appropriate answers. Listen to the questions very well. Then you'll be able to provide appropriate and accurate answers to the questions. Now let's move ahead. Let's look at some of the strategies to improve our speaking skills. You need to practice in front of a mirror. Very, very important, yes. Before the day of your presentation, practice in front of a mirror to check all what it takes, looking at your body language and your delivery style and all that. Practice regularly through conversations. You have friends and other people. Make sure you communicate with them to improve your speaking skills. You listen actively to fluent speakers. There are other fluent speakers, yes, that are well known and recognized. So you can listen to them actively to look at how they are doing it. So you can also imitate, yes, to build your own style. Record yourself and evaluate your speech. Yes, you can record yourself personally. Then after that, you play back the audio to look at how your presentation will be like during that day. Yes, also control fears and nervousness. That's stage fright and shaking during presentations. You need to control this. Yes, you need to control your fears and nervousness. Have the self confidence, be self assertive, know whatever that you are saying. Yes, so you need to organize your thoughts before speaking. During presentations, it's all about speaking. So you don't just say anything, but you need to organize your thoughts. Yes, off head before you speak. Before you say anything, make sure it is well organized before you say it. Yes, so read aloud to improve pronunciation and fluency. Yes, actually, before you go and present, you can read aloud to check how you pronounce words and how fluent you are. Yes, before that very day you go and do your presentation, make sure you check all this. It's also very, very important. So now let's conclude our presentation. Speaking skills are very important in our daily lives. Developing good speaking habits such as confidence, clarity, and preparation will help us become effective communicators. Very, very important. Let's do well to improve our speaking skills. Let's take this quote from John Powell. Once said, communication works for those who work for it. So, meaning before you be able to perfect yourself in speaking skills or you be able to speak fluently, it's all about practicing. You need to practice and practice and practice until you become perfect in whatever that you are working towards to. So it doesn't just come like that. We need to keep on practicing, practicing. Then we'll become good in whatever that we are doing. Let's all commit in improving our speaking skills. Very, very important, most especially as students in our endeavors wherever we go. It has to do with our speaking skills. Yes, so now this is the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for joining the visual presentation. Kindly drop your comments below. If you found this video helpful and useful, kindly don't forget to drop your comments at the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share to get notified for other subsequent content to come. Today, we just looked at speaking skills, how we'll be able to develop our speaking skills, yes, to help us in our academic and other endeavors. I hope you guys really learned something from this visual presentation today. I will see you in my next video at the corner of the screen. Thank you very much. God bless you guys. I love you all.